Before the collision of two impossible forces, the universe trembled with a tension that only cosmic awareness could detect. Entire galaxies slowed in their rotations, as if the cosmos itself held its breath. Something ancient was stirring, something not born of any world or timeline. Across the void, Doomsday wandered through the scattered carcasses of civilizations he had already shattered. His existence was a perpetual declaration of brutality, etched into the DNA of the universe. Every step he took through space left currents of distortion. Stars flickered, gravity folded, everything recoiled from him. Not out of fear, but because his very presence rejected the concept of harmony. Doomsday had died countless times, but he came back stronger each time, sculpted by evolution's cruelest logic into a being that defied limitation. His existence was singular, the pursuit of destruction. Not purpose, not destiny, just destruction. A purpose so brutally simple it had become pure. But even in his limitlessness, Doomsday failed to comprehend the delicate lattice of existence he stood upon. He saw only obstacles, targets, resistance to crush. In that blindness, he wandered directly into the attention of a force that had existed before the first atom breathed. The Phoenix Force sensed him not as a threat, but as a contradiction. She observed him through the cosmic fire of creation that wrapped her existence in wings made of eternity. Phoenix was not a being in any conventional sense. She was an expression of the universe's will to rise, burn, die, and rise again. To her, existence was not simply survival or dominance. It was the infinite cycle of potential, the renewal of meaning, the birth of new cosmic truths. And yet something in Doomsday disrupted that cycle. He was evolution without intention, destruction without renewal, a wound in the cosmic order that healed itself wrong every time it was broken. A creature who had resisted death so many times that he had rejected the very principle of transformation. He did not grow, he only twisted. He did not evolve, he calcified. Phoenix saw him as the one force in the universe that could not be reconciled with the cycle she protected. Not because he was strong, but because he was permanently incomplete. When Phoenix manifested before him, her presence ignited the void in a blinding aurora. Doomsday paused, not out of fear, but confusion. Instinct whispered that he had encountered something unlike any foe before, something that wasn't alive, something that wasn't dead, something that existed beyond the simple formulas of adaptation and physicality. The cosmic fire shimmered, its voice neither sound nor energy, but a resonance that echoed through the primal essence of all life. "You are a contradiction," Phoenix said, "a creature that rejects the very thing the universe demands, change. You break, you return, but you do not learn. You adapt, but you do not grow. You evolve, but you never transform." Doomsday snarled as if the words were irritants in the air. His mind was not made for understanding philosophy. But he knew challenge, and Phoenix's presence radiated a challenge on a scale he had never encountered. She continued, her voice weaving deeper into reality. "Existence is not built on power alone. It is built on meaning, on renewal, on becoming. You cannot become. You only persist, and persistence without reason is a flaw the cosmos cannot tolerate forever." Doomsday lunged, not attack but impulse. As he charged, Phoenix remained still, studying him not as an enemy, but as a question. She saw within him a paradox, a creature that had beaten death, yet had never lived, a being whose evolution was strictly reactionary, shaped by what tried to stop him, rather than what he tried to become. His strength was enormous but shallow, his endurance endless but purposeless. The void crackled as the gap closed between them. Phoenix lifted one hand, and the energy of 10,000 supernovas rippled across her palm. "Before we clash," she said, "you must understand why you cannot win, not because you are weak, but because you refuse to be anything other than what you are. I am the power of becoming. You are the power of refusing." For a moment even Doomsday hesitated, not because he grasped her meaning, but because even his instincts sensed that this confrontation was not merely physical. Phoenix spoke once more, her flames expanding across space like a cosmic sunrise. "Only one of us represents the future of the universe, and it is not the one who tries to stop it from changing." Doomsday roared, the sound tearing across light years. Phoenix rose, her fire swirling into a storm of rebirth. The universe shuddered as both forces prepared to collide, not just physically but philosophically. One stood for evolution without thought, the other for transformation with purpose. The stage was set. The clash would not just decide strength, it would decide which of them aligned with the universe's truth. The cosmos prepared itself for an answer. The explosion of their collision did not release energy, it released meaning. Phoenix descended upon Doomsday with fire that represented the totality of creation, burning with the light of every star that ever lived. Her flames didn't merely scorch, they illuminated the fundamental structure of existence. Doomsday slammed into her with a force that tore the skin off space-time. Every strike he delivered sent shockwaves that ruptured nebula. He adapted quickly. Her fire vaporized his skin, and instantly he reformed with layers built to withstand celestial heat. She burned his molecular structure apart, and he evolved resistance in seconds. His power escalated so rapidly that the void around them collapsed into a trembling sphere of gravitational chaos. But the Phoenix Force was not testing his endurance. She was testing his trajectory, his capacity to transcend the brute logic of survival and reach towards something higher. She saw the pattern. No matter what she threw at him, he reacted only to the danger, not to the reasoning behind it. His evolution was mechanical, not conscious. He absorbed, adjusted, persisted, but never understood. Doomsday seized Phoenix by the throat, slamming her through the carcass of a dead star. The star reignited on impact, superheated plasma roaring outward. Phoenix reformed instantly, her shape reconstructing from flames. She shattered Doomsday's arm with a single strike, but he grew a new one, instantly, now reinforced with bone that shimmered with adaptive energy. "You persist," she said, "but you do not transcend." Her fire burst outward, encasing Doomsday in a sphere of annihilation. He tore out of it, molten and furious, with new adaptations that let him wade through cosmic fire like water. He struck her again and again, each blow stronger than the last, each more unstable than the previous. His power was climbing, but with it, the imbalance. "You grow more dangerous," Phoenix warned, "but not more meaningful." Doomsday roared and hurled himself forward with force capable of splitting planets in half. Phoenix let the strike land. It ripped through her form like slicing through a starburst. Her flames recoalesced instantly, her eyes burning brighter. "You cannot evolve past your origin," she whispered. "You carry its flaw, a refusal to change willingly." Without willingness, evolution becomes stagnation disguised as strength. The void around them burned with her truth. Doomsday rushed in again, and Phoenix finally unleashed her full cosmic presence. What came next was not an attack, it was revelation. The flames erupted into a cosmic pulse that bypassed matter entirely and reached into the essence of Doomsday's being. His adaptations failed, not because they were weak, but because the Phoenix targeted the part of him that could never evolve, the part that understood nothing. "I am not destroying you," Phoenix said. "I am correcting what should not continue." Doomsday staggered for the first time, not physically, existentially. The Phoenix flame entered him, reading every death he had endured and every rebirth that followed. She saw the pattern clearly. His evolution was a loop, a closed circle with no capacity to break out, no capacity to ascend, only to harden. "You cannot defeat a force that embodies what you reject," she declared. Her fire expanded, not outward but inward, invading every atom of him, every instinct, every reactionary mechanism. Doomsday evolved resistance. She changed the nature of the fire. He adapted again. She changed the concept of change itself. His entire identity buckled under the pressure. Doomsday struck her one last time, but his punch passed through her like a shadow striking a star. Phoenix's final act was not destruction, it was erasure of the flaw. In a single burst of cosmic truth, she extinguished the principle that allowed Doomsday to return. His evolution engine shut down, not by force, but by cosmic correction, an adjustment to the universal pattern in which he no longer fit. He crumbled, not in agony, but in silence. The universe absorbed him, like a wound finally healing. Phoenix hovered over the fading remnants. "You were powerful," she said, "but power without purpose is only inertia. And inertia cannot stand against infinity." Her flames dimmed to a calm radiance as she drifted upward, leaving behind a universe restored to its rhythm of renewal. And in that restored rhythm, the Phoenix Force remained the victor, not because she was stronger, but because she embodied the very meaning Doomsday could never reach.